Alright, we're back, part 3. Even my video didn't go part 3. You get 3 parts to your video, Steve.
Well, Jesus, Jerry, if you shut the fuck up and
I
let me
know,
talk, I'd appreciate it.
Just because, we enjoy talking darts. And, anybody's videos can go on this phone talking about what we love, because it's what we do, right?
Agreed.
Alright, so we've gone through all your tournaments and everything like that. We've got you into the bar. You're into buying dart machines and fixing them and putting them in the bars for the leagues and programming them. And you're the man here if you need any dartboard stuff. And eventually, COVID hit, bar shut down. There's no place for us to play. We talked about internet darts coming on, and a few of us decided to run a Granboard group. Where'd that start? What?
Well, that started right there. That's where this started out, right here. And Jerry's a very humble guy, and Jerry's going to give a lot of credit to people that don't deserve it.
Whatever.
This guy is the one that started this. GOP, almost 200 members, is that right? Almost.
We're at like 197 or something. And we're only in a region, right? We don't let nobody outside of our area get in because we want to keep it just a Pensacola group. So that's pretty good. I mean, I didn't think we'd ever get to 200 because at one time there was only about 20 of us,
And what does it cost to become a member?
0.
And what does it cost to maintain that yearly membership?
0.
Yeah, it costs everything.
And there is a lot of work behind it that we do, and I want to thank everybody that does it, and you included, because we do have a text thread that when stuff comes up, we send it to the admins. We talk about stuff all the time, and it is not what always people think is fair. We just try and do what's best for the group. We're always open to suggestions, and it was a collaboration. I mean, granted, I will say I was the one that started it. I created the Facebook group, but it was through pushes from Steve and a few of the others that convinced me finally to do it, and that I should be the person to do it, and god damn it, I got all the work.
You did.
So I gotta pass it on.
You did, and you delegated really well to gosh, we got Ricky Holman and Brian Sanderson, Egg Roll,
Fred,
Billy Harris.
yeah.
We got Fast Freddy, who he can't dance for the shit, but that's another video. Who else? Who do we forget? We got you, myself, Ricky. That's it. We got everybody.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep, Bill, yep.
All right, good deal.
So everybody knows about the GOP, because if you're watching it, it's going to be posted there. So Steve, let's talk more about darts and just you as a person, growing over all the years. Let's talk about people that meant something to you, that pushed you. It doesn't have to be a better dart player than you that you were chasing, unless you want to talk about that. But it could be the lesser player that it's there for you when you want to play darts, because you're only going to get better if you play. And it doesn't matter what caliber person you're playing, it's just playing darts, whether it's sober, half buzz, or fucking lit off your ass, and you're already at home, but you got those core people that just fucking play darts with you. Who are those people?
Gosh, I shared with you guys, I started off in Dayton, Ohio, and I remember I was just a young dart player. I was at a place called Norton's Tavern, just throwing, and looked over, there's a guy that everybody knew, Greg Ford, who was just a phenomenal dart player, and he said, "Hey, you want to play a game?" And I was taken aback. It was almost as if, Phil Taylor had said, "You want to play a game?" And I was so nervous, like, But after you get to play things, and I'll tell anybody that's just starting off in darts, or anybody that has been playing darts that doesn't play tournaments, if you want to get better, you have to play. You can practice all you want, but you got to play. And then I met, Sean Ellis, Matt Ellis, Todd Ellis. They were 3 brothers. Our team name was 3 brothers and a white guy. Kind of funny. Guess who I was? So then I met my best friend this day, Steve Turk, and that's who still motivates me to this day. Steve Turk. He lives up in Springfield. You guys heard me say that earlier on. Down here, I get to play with Jerry frequently. Pushes me really hard. Ryan Clary, Ryan and I get together frequently. Ryan, guys, look out for Ryan. He's back. He is an absolute beast.
Well, I was saying earlier, I thought Ryan moved away because I haven't seen him in a while. But, like a lot of us, you have families and you start doing stuff, you don't get out and play tournaments in the league anymore. And I just thought Ryan was gone, and all of a sudden he come back in. I'm like, did he move back in town?
Ryan's been here. Ryan, he has some children. So he's just here for a while. But, you've always got
to go be a dad first. But.
Be a dad, absolutely, and he's an awesome dad.
Yeah.
Shout, and Nikki, too. I was playing steel tip over in Crestview for a few years with before Scotty Long moved away as myself, Scotty Long, Archie Quason, who again, a great ambassador of the game. He had a couple guys over there, Cody Jones and John Shorey, great people that just motivate you to play because you want to get better. So down here, you got Johnny. Johnny is he's the echelon. But you know, when we get together at Old Fucker Thursday, there's a couple guys that are coming out, and they've been around for a long time. Chris and Kim Struthers have been coming out the last couple weeks. These are people that have been in the dart scene for many
decades.
Years. Yeah,
decades.
For a long time. It's
Yeah.
always good when you start seeing those that, you know, we all got old. Unfortunately, I didn't always have a great beard. I didn't have a receding hairline. But it's so good to see people still around. We've lost a bunch of people, but you know, those
what happens when we get old.
Hey, you know,
it happens.
I want to get better. And how about you, Jerry? Who motivates you, man? Because I watched your last video. I'm not sure I saw that in your last video.
You know, I talked about a lot of people growing up that inspired me and who I played with to get better. Now on a regular basis, it's just here in the garage. You know, my daughter Madison and her boyfriend Jalen play consistently. They love coming out here every chance that they get, and even when we're out of town, they want to come over to the house and say, hey, can we come over and bring some friends, and they're playing darts, which is fun. You know, my cousin Jake, Fred's been over here all night long till early in the mornings. Buck, you know, my wife Christy that puts up with my dart habit all the time that we do. Sarah, my sister, and her fiance, her husband, my brother-in-law, David. He's a beast, man. I mean, those are the ones that I play with all the time, every weekend when we're having some get-together and barbecue, and neighbors across the street, Will and Connie, and Dave and Christy on the corner. Hey, we're just driveway drinking tonight, but guess what? We always end up in the garage shooting some fucking darts, you know? It's just your regular friends. Those are always going to be the ones that it's not about competition and trying to win the game at that point. It's just hanging out and throwing a fucking dart. You don't have to fucking win. It's just play. If people would learn that you just have to play before you worry about winning, it'd be great, right? Because if we're going to move on to this next segment, it's about the cliques in the area. And you know, it's the different groups and the problems that we have. You know, if I want to say first and foremost, it's learn to move on and forget and make darts better. If you can keep that in your mind as you're doing stuff, that's what we're all striving for. We all want the same thing. We all want to be able to play darts together, show up at the same place, and not have problems. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we're going to need a part 4, 5, and 6 of that.
No, we ain't doing that.
I'll be real concise. I've been in the dart community down here for quite a few years, and if there's one problem I've seen with darts, and I can't say nationwide because I'm not been nationwide. I mean, we play darts in 3 or 4 different cities, but down here, one of the big problems we have is there is a clique issue. And a lot of times the players that are not yet established adhere to what a good player says that has a lot of weight, and it's not merited. So if you hear something about somebody doing this and doing that, you know, unless you see it, unless you hear it yourself, you know, just show up, throw your darts, and don't pick sides. Just throw your darts. You know, there's a reason why we don't have a Thursday league anymore for the women. And that was a really strong league. I don't want to throw stones and say what the reason why we don't have this. I don't want to talk about everybody out there that's watching this knows what goes on Wednesdays. They know what goes on Tuesdays. We don't need to have that, but we do. And that's something that we all need to address as a dart community. And there's one thing that's great about the dart community, and I said this in, I think, in part 1, as long as you're not a fucking asshole, just show up, throw your darts. It's so receptive. The dart community is so good that there were $6,000 raised on Saturday for Mr. Matt Poston. So,
that's right.
You know, that is awesome.
Yeah, and, you know, whether you like them or don't, or showed up or didn't, you know, it's what we do in the dart community. You know, you don't have to like everybody. You have your own opinion. You hold everybody. What if I was to say to you that people think that the GOP is a clique and the admins are a certain clique. You know, I mean, we try to be fair. We like to ask polls and questions to everybody, but, you know, everybody's going to have their own opinion. Do you think the GOP is a certain clique, or is we trying to do this for everybody?
Jerry, you can't make everybody happy. We've got, I think, when you said 197, 98, 99, 200 members, you're going to make everybody happy? No, you can't make everybody happy, but you can do, and I think what the admins do in this group, they look out for what's best for the league. And every decision made is what's best for the league. And I think that that's what every league should do. You know, we can't say, well, this is what's best for the player, what's best for the league, and you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
But you can't throw darts.
Yeah.
You can show up. You can be nice. You can be cordial. That's what you can do.
Yeah. And we're always open for help on the GOP. There's always something that you could do if you want to step up and be a part of the team. You know, shoot us a message. There's always something we can figure out that you can participate in, because it is a lot. There's only a few of us. There is a committee poll and everything. And I guess we'll end it on the GOP note that, you know, we try to create something here that you don't have to be out in the bars or don't be in a smoky place, and you can play from the comfort of your own home. If you want boards and you're new to this group, Steve can try and hook us up and, you know, get us a deal or something, if that's what we want to call it.
Yeah, we can.
But overall, darts is what we love to do. And when you forget playing the love of the game, you don't need to play anymore. When it becomes about the competition and the money, and that's all you're striving for because you're leaving work to try and go make money, which is something that I did that I regret on one of my worst nights that I talked to you about earlier, that I regret. If you're giving up money to try and chase something, you shouldn't be playing. You should do it for the love of the game, and that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah. One thing to add, if I can, Jerry.
Yeah.
This league, this GOP league, or organization, whatever league, it's not perfect. We do not
by
claim
far
to be perfect.
By far.
But we're trying. And if there's one thing I say about Buddy Jerry, he always listens to suggestions.
Yeah.
He may not agree with them. He might say, Steve, you're a fucking idiot. He's told me that more than once. But he listens. So if you guys got any suggestions whatsoever, voice them. I just ask you to do it in a respectful way. We will not allow any, or Jerry will not allow any personal attacks. That's just not cool.
Yeah, if you go firing off a bunch of cuss words and just blaring something out, that's not tolerated. And I will say, keep in mind, these rankings that we do, they're not the real rankings. This is for fun. We do games that mix it up, and it's only so you can play different people that you haven't played in a while. Because after the rankings settle and we're all where we kind of belong, you're playing the 3 or 4 people that you're always going to play. So
I'm not the best player in the league. I know that. I know that.
So
my buddy TC, I know that. Come back.
So we understand that, right? So it's not the real rankings, because first off, Johnny Bush ain't even on our rankings. Archie, you know,
that?
I mean,
Who's
so
that?
This is for fun. Realize that because the challenge isn't met, it's got to be a forfeit. Just remember, this is for fun. This is something to do. There's no money on the line, because when it gets to that point, I don't want to do it anymore, and I will happily turn this over to somebody else. So as long as we keep this fun, I'll be happy to keep being your GOP president. And Steve, I want to thank you for your time, the interview. It was a pleasure. Let's go up here and give them a punch out.
Boom.
Thank you, and we'll see you on the boards. Boom!